So it's all to play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Hello, Villa fans. Aston Villa shit. Newcastle pretty decent. That's the result from tonight's game. No, I jest in a lot of ways. I'm really annoyed about that game today because we conceded some really stupid goals and we had some situations whereby we put ourselves in just really, really stupid situations on the field, and a lot of it stemming from midfield. And it's so funny. Well, it's funny. I'm finding it funny here at the moment because I just said to Paddy, right, I'm going to be all calm and measured when I go on this podcast. And within the first 28 seconds, I bust a blood vessel. But Paddy, it wasn't good viewing out there, was it? Specifically in the first half for Aston Villa today. And very difficult to pick an awful lot of positives from that game.
Very little positives. The positive in the game is how well managed Newcastle were and how they policed us in the first half, and how high, without engaging straight away. The minute we passed the ball out, they engaged, and we couldn't play through them. And you just gotta tip your hat to them and say they were the better side. They were a much better side than us today. But there's a lot more questions to be asked other than why Newcastle played so well. There's a lot of things at play here, but I'm sure we won't get into them tonight.
Yeah, and look, like Newcastle, we spoke about this about Villa's midfield being bullied in the first game, and Joe Linton. We said there was no Joe Linton today. We said that they were missing Tonali today, but it was the same old in midfield again. You know, John McGinn is the only midfielder that comes out of it really with a lot of credit, I think, from that point of view. Thought he was pretty good tonight, but you know, it was like a game of hide and seek at times out there trying to find a pass in the middle of midfield. And I'm really frustrated by it. I really am, because it was like we can't work when the engine room doesn't work, and then when the engine room doesn't work, we don't create chances, and when we don't create chances, we rely on crossing the ball in from our fullbacks. When we cross the ball in from our fullbacks, we're just not built to play against the Fabian Schär or Sven Botman and a Dan Burn from crosses. We're just not. So it's incredibly frustrating, and I know I started off hot and heavy there a moment ago, but it's like I can't figure out why that midfield was so passive and not able to pass themselves. It's just and they've no strength in there or something, Paddy. It's just frustrating. It really is.
No, well, you couldn't really fault John McGinn's work rate or strength or ability on the ball tonight. And I think I'd struggle after John McGinn to name someone. Well, obviously Leon Bailey, but then again, we're patting Eddie Howe on the back again because he brought in Livramento and they went 5 at the back, and then he was largely ineffective. So you've got to be asking yourself the question on Saturday, if the Abbey starts again, what the hell is going on? Because he hasn't played a good game in months, literally months, since I saw the Abbey having any type of outstanding performance. And today wasn't any different. Why he got into a position to take a shot and not take it is absolutely baffling me. Absolutely baffling me. I missed one of them because my very reliable stream went down, and I missed both of the first of the Newcastle goals, and I was kind of happy that it wasn't functioning at that time. But I did see them at halftime. I thought there was a foul on Longley for the first goal. There was a lot of pulling and dragging going on there, but that wasn't looked at. But they spent a long time looking at the second one for some reason, even though Matty Cash was lying in an offside position. We were never getting that one.
No.
But look, I think the better team won. I think they deserved a victory. I'm not going to get as pissed off as I was watching the game now, because there's so much questions now over this team since Christmas, taking into consideration the Sheffield United performance, the Man United performance, the poorish performance against Everton, and then again tonight we just didn't show up. It's a tough one.
Yeah, I agree, and it's like the goals we conceded. I suppose when we talk about them once again, it was physically muscled out of it in the first for the first one. Poor defending from Ezri Konsa, must be said, and Douglas Luiz in that instance. And then actually they got pretty close again. Well, it would have been a third goal, but it was very, very similar. Shar got in between Konsa and Douglas Luiz, and the same thing kind of happened again. And I think we might have got a free out from it from that instance. But it's just a real frustrating situation that was, because when they got a goal, it's the first time under Unai Emery that when they scored that first goal, I kind of went, I'm not sure we can score 2 goals here today. Just the way we played up to that point, I wasn't sure we could score 2 goals. And then they get a second one 3 minutes later, and that's the frustrating part. Like, the element of fortune that they had in their second and third goals shouldn't be. We should mention it, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that Newcastle were a better team. Like, the second goal is really fortuitous. Like the deflection off Longley, he does really well to get out to it. It deflects, comes off the crossbar, falls perfectly to Shar, who's waiting there. A centre half who's just waiting there. He's out of position. He should be well out of there, and he took it into the back of the net. And then the last one, then Jacob Murphy has a really terrible shot at the back post, and Alex Moreno slides it into the back of his own net. While it's okay to mention those, Newcastle fashioned the better chances, and that last goal came from our midfield just being absolutely lackluster, like really, really lackluster. There was that box midfield. The spacing was all wrong between the centre halves, between the strikers. It made Watkins completely isolated. Diaby didn't help him either, because Diaby was just being pushed off the ball at every opportunity. And it also made Konsa and Longley isolated inside there as well, as the 2 centre halves. And then as we pushed our wing backs, our full backs up forward, up as well, we had no number 6 presence inside there. We weren't playing that extra centre half, the fellow who tucks in, and it was sitting duck time at times there. Noted by the second half, whereby they get a really good chance. Longley stands his man up. His man then just shifts it to the side, and Emi Martinez makes a brilliant save. These are not coaching errors. These are on-field errors by players who are not told to play that way. I don't care what anyone says. It's not been the way that they've played under Unai Emery so far. There was a lack of personal discipline out there tonight. And arguably, to be said, in the first half, there was also a lack of positional discipline as well in midfield. So, I'm not getting off the hobby horse here of midfield. I've been talking about it all day, and it's not just me trying to be right. Midfield was very passive today. It was bullied when they got the ball. When they got the ball themselves, our midfield did. They were bullied off it an awful lot, and something needs to change in there. Whether it's we bring in a 5th midfielder, whether it's we, go 3 at the back and play our wing backs in midfield as well. I don't know, but today, Chelsea, Man United. And Man United in the second half, I suppose, really, and a couple of other games since then, we've seen our midfield get steamrolled a small bit, and that's the concerning point for me.
I think there's lots of concerning points. I think the fact that they managed our press so well, and we couldn't shift the ball well enough to play even a 3/4 or a quarter of the pitch pass to stick. We just couldn't keep the ball, no matter what we did. They had our number from the start. I'm deflated now with the whole thing. I'm just like, we gave them a week off. We're back working on tactics. What the hell has gone on? Like, it just that one is a sucker punch tonight, because we needed it. I think we needed that victory tonight. We needed to go and beat them, and we needed to lay down a marker towards the rest of the season. I don't think Sheffield United they'll come and play their own game on Saturday and hope that they can turn us over, because they need a win as well. They can't be sitting looking for the draw like they did the last time.
Good.
It's
I hope
just,
they do. If they come and play, that will suit us better.
Well, it will. They'll have to. Like, they can't be sitting back waiting on a draw. I don't believe they will at home anyway. But I'm debating on whether to draw a line on it or go all in on everybody here. But there's a lot that I'm annoyed over. I'm annoyed over that yellow pack linesman that put his flag up for an offside and then allowed Newcastle play until the ball went dead and then put up his flag in the second half. Like, which is it? Like, where's the consistency? We didn't even see a replay to know if it was onside. At that stage of the game, there's 2 minutes left in the first half. We could have possibly got it to 2-1, and who knows what happened. But you've got these fucking idiots that are just badly trained and badly managed by Howard Webb, and they need to fuck off. A lot of them. I'm fucking sick of them. Absolutely fucking sick of them. Totally overprotecting players. That decision, the foul on Trippier, he's an embarrassment as well, going out and holding his face and his head when he was blatantly obviously hitting the chest. I just don't get it. And you know what? Saka does the same thing. All the English internationals get away with it, and all the big six get away with it. We do it. It's probably a free the other way, or he gives the offside, one or the other. Anyway, we've slipped into ref's corner, as DC said, and I don't want to go down that road because we were beaten by the better team. That's the long and the short.
By the better team, yeah.
But you have to call out mistakes by officials because nobody else is doing it.
Well, yeah, the flags up and stuff like that, they were all offside. Like Moreno was offside in the first half, and
Bobby Junior, how about you listen to the whole thing that I said and not just what I said about the referees? We were beaten by the better team. End of story. Yeah, but there has to be a but. If we'd have got that, if we'd have scored that just before halftime.
But he was offside, and Watkins was offside, and like at the end of the day, they're offside. Like, but their directive is you leave your flag down. That's the only piss take I have from it. But anyway, that is.
Well, we'll never know because it wasn't shown. Replay wasn't shown.
Moreno was definitely offside.
Didn't stop the play. Didn't stop the replay, so we don't know.
No.
So how close it was when Watkins was actually offside for that goal. How close it was that they. You know, there was literally a toe in it, which is unfortunate as well because I think at 3-2 we would have really had them rattled.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that would have created a real momentum, and I think Paddy, that's a good. Like, let's shine a small bit of it because the two of us are uncharacteristically, I suppose, hot under the collar after this. You know, it's usually one of the two of us comes in with a kind of a very stable kind of mindset with regards to it, but it's very rare that both of us are puffing smoke after it. But I think on that, you know, the momentum really was with us there for a 10-15 minute period when Bailey came on. You know, he's turned on the edge of in the centre circle. Like, that was brilliant. What was it that Andy McCoy said? He said something like, "Oh, Dan Burn is going to need a complimentary ticket to get back in after that one," or something like that. He sold him for such a pup. And Watkins scored, obviously. And then the second one, when he finishes it, is like his big toe is offside. It's one of those ones, but it was offside. And, you know, at that stage, we're looking threatening, but, you know, then the clock watching probably comes into it. And, you know, like a lot of teams, if you get that goal and the next thing 9 minutes come up on the board, you're probably looking at the players kind of going. And in fairness to Watkins was onto the crowd. Come on, like let's get going here. We're going to try and get something going. Then he got the second one was ruled out. And what I'm saying is that, like, when those 9 minutes go up, you could imagine that a home team gets a boost from that. But at 3-1, it's very difficult to get a boost from that. 3-2, it's a completely different game. But, you know, offside is offside, and that's what was called. But, yeah, like, and saying that, Newcastle, I think, came straight back up the other end and had another great chance as well after that. So, like, everything that we did tonight was the majority of things, should I say, that we did tonight were countered by Newcastle, and that's, I'm not going to say it's a worrying thing because they're a well coached side and they've got some really good players, but it's not what we wanted to see, and it's not what we're used to seeing at home. And the first loss at home in 18 games or something like that, is that what they said? First loss at home in 18 games is tough to swallow because the performance wasn't there, and the performance wasn't there against Chelsea, and the performance wasn't there against Everton either. And that's three performances, and the performance wasn't there in the second half against Manchester United. That's 3.5 games where the performance just really hasn't been, and performance wasn't there against Middlesbrough. That's 4.5 games, so the performance just wasn't.
And they've had a week, off,
and they've had a week off as well in the middle. So there's something that needs to click again, or there's something that needs to be changed. I don't know what it is. I firmly believe it's in midfield. I firmly believe that if you just pack out midfield against us, it's sayonara. You know, that we haven't shown we can do much in that aspect, or if you just try and bully our midfield. but I don't know who we bring in, or I don't know who we replace, or I don't know what we do to fix it. 3 at the back might go a long way to do it, so we can crowd out midfield as well, so we don't get caught in the breaks like we did tonight. But no, I don't have an answer on how to fix it. I certainly don't. But at the same time, I'm not in panic stations either, because we've gone through situations like this. We're not a finished article, and at the start of the season, we were putting in performances like this, and there was tweaks in the formation that led to massive runs. So it's not all downtrodden. Like for the future, I suppose, looking forward onto it like that, it's obviously not all downtrodden from that point of view. With players coming back from injury, we would hope. And like Pau Torres makes a difference to this team. Luca Dean makes a difference to this team when he comes in. And fit Jacob Ramsey makes a difference to this team from the point of view that he's a ball carrier. You see what a ball carrier did when Bailey came on today. This team is badly in need of a ball carrier. That's why Morgan Rogers is likely to come in as well, because that's what he is, a ball carrier. If you can't pass through that block, and our midfield certainly couldn't today. Like Paddy, we're 15, just come up in 16 minutes. Like Yuri Tielemans today, I can't. Like, it just did not work. Nothing worked. Nothing worked for Tielemans today. And he can't carry the ball. So when you have him who can't
nothing worked for Diaby either.
Nothing worked for Diaby as well. Diaby was
nothing worked for Zaniolo. There's a long list there. A long list.
But what I'm saying,
but I thought were largely ineffective.
It's everything starts and finishes at your midfield in this system. Everything starts and finishes at your midfield 4. And if you play that box midfield and all you're doing is trying to play triangles around in the middle of midfield, if they put 6 into midfield, you're screwed, because you have to go wide, and then we're crossing the ball in, and you've got Dan Burn and Fabian Schär on the end of it. So for me, that's where every single issue tonight came from. That midfield part. I'd be interested, and I'm really interested to read Jacob Tanswell's viewing it in the Athletic tomorrow, because he does tend to find one or two little scraps of I suppose reality is what I usually call them, but one or two little scraps from a tactical point of view. So I'd be blown away if he didn't finger the midfield and say that they were the ones that couldn't get anything going, because it's just so important in this system. It really is. And I've no answers, because we had young Tim and we had Ramsey on the bench, and that's it.
Yeah, well, no, the only person's opinion I'd be looking to hear now is Unai Emery, because tactically, I think he offered nothing when we were quite obviously being outplayed and outbullied from our own box, early in the game, and there was nothing offered to change that up. I felt at half time that he should have made the decision then to take off Diaby. I think Bailey should have been brought on at that stage. I thought Ramsey should have been brought on at that stage, but I think it was blatantly obvious that Ramsey wasn't fit enough either, and probably shouldn't have been out there. But look, we are. I truly believe we need to get Pau Torres back into this team. I think he's an unbelievable outlet that goes largely unnoticed by the opposition. The way he plays the ball, the way he can pick a pass, be it a long pass or a short pass, the guy is just colossal on the ball. So we need that steady head in there, and that's not like I see a lot of people digging out Longley in the comments.
Longley was the better of our two centre halves tonight, lads. And that's
I'm not on that bus at all. I really like him as a player. I think he could have a future with us as a backup, or to be in positions where we're winning matches to take off Pau Torres and protect them. I think he'd be very important. And in situations like this, when we don't have Pau Torres, I think we need to be playing with a player of his caliber in that position. But anyway, that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Like, obviously, Pau Torres is brilliant, and when he comes back in, you have Torres and you have Konza in that centre half partnership, and maybe you even have Torres, Konza, and Longley, or Torres, Konza, and Diego Carlos. The more I think when Torres does come back, they're playing that back 3 probably does unlock our midfield a small bit, or it's at least a wrinkle that should be considered, because we've done it before in this in Unai Emery's era, I suppose, in the team previously, and I wouldn't be adverse to doing it again. I certainly wouldn't be averse to doing it again, because this box midfield has not impressed me in the last 4 games. Let's just say.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, look, I'm going to leave it at that, guys. We could be here for another 20 minutes and we're just going to make ourselves a bit more angry. But well done to Newcastle tonight. They've turned us over. Eddie Howe came in, and one of the things he said in his pre-match was Europe still isn't off the table. Champions League still isn't off the table at them, and they were 14 points behind. He talked about momentum. He talked about getting on a good run of form. Villa need to get some bit of momentum back again from 3 points point of view. Yes, we're not losing games on the trot, but we need to get some winning momentum back again. And we're still in 4th place. We're still 8 points ahead of 6th place at the moment. All is not lost for sure, but we're just frustrated about tonight. And
and it is just frustration and frustration that we keep doing the same thing when it's not working. So something has to change. Something has to change at the weekend. Something has to change fast. And some players need to take the finger out of their arse and get on with it, because there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we haven't even touched on. I'm not going to either. So
yeah,
we need to get our players that are going to be back anytime soon, get them back into the team. Pau Torres is a huge loss. What you lose.
I was throwing up something there by Rob Warner, and I think that was the sort of game where we missed Tyrone Mings kicking a lump of someone and getting the crowd up. Yeah, Dan Byrne did it in the first half. Just like he had a poor touch, ball was coming to Matty Cash. He just slid out a long leg, took Cash and the ball with him, right in front of his fans. Little thing like that. Our fouls today were Boubacar Kamara dragging somebody back. I think he had 5 fouls in the first half and gave away the ball 3 times. And look, and that's the kind of thing. It's yes, you slow down the play for the other team, but if you're getting involved in that kind of stuff, when you're at home, there's one way ticket to 2 yellow cards at some stage, and that's why Unai Emery brought him off, I would imagine. But yeah, it's I have full faith in Unai Emery. Obviously, don't anybody get anything wrong on that one. But Sheffield United at the weekend, I would expect, like, if we go out with the same 11 against Sheffield United at the weekend, I'd be a bit disappointed given how well Bailey played and how poorly Diaby played, or how down on his confidence Diaby looks. Also, if Tielemans was in the starting 11, I'd be a bit disappointed in that too, because there were just 2 players that everything broke down around, and that just looked like Newcastle were not too worried by them, I don't think. And that's saying that from Diaby getting 2 lovely chances that he didn't shoot. Well, one he shot, and the other one he took it way too wide of the goalkeeper and had a tame effort. So just didn't work for him. Tonight. Anyway, we move on. We move on to Sheffield United the weekend. Paddy, we're going to have to do some sort of a pre-match podcast at some stage during the week. Actually, before we go, let's change it to something completely different. Aston Villa are going to sign an Australian goalkeeper, whose name I can't even pronounce. Joe Gauchi, I think is how it is. But go look him up. Couple of our Australian. See, we've got the best people and most knowledgeable football fans watch our podcast, Betty, because not only had I retweeted it 2 seconds, and then all the Australian Villa fans were banging underneath going, this is an exact breakdown about what he is. They gave me tons of information. Unfortunately, I don't do scouting series on goalkeepers because I just don't know. I don't know what I'm looking for. But fair play to everybody who sent that on. Looks like he's a promising player. I'm going to go and I'm going to read up on him this evening. I certainly won't be watching that game back tomorrow. And that's why I'm waiting for Jacob Tansley's piece on it tomorrow, because I don't know will I be able to watch that first half back again. But anyway,
quick question for you before you go. What percentage of the ball would you say we had tonight?
God, I don't know.
Just as you see it, as you think about it, what would you say our percentage of the ball was tonight?
46. I don't think we had the lion's share. Like,
what I'm looking at here says it was 61% possession for us. Certainly didn't feel like that, did it?
Well, there was a lot of times after they scored their first goal where we just passed the ball or literally around our own penalty box. Yeah, so potentially
bad stuff.
Yeah, bad stuff. Yeah. Right, so lads, look, we'll all have the decompression session at some stage ourselves, and all we can do is be there for each other, because after a 3-1 loss like that, we all just want to cry. But fair play to Newcastle, better team on the night, and we've a bit of work to do with the drawing board, I think, to start out to start out this little slump, and no better manager to be able to do it than Unai Emery. Looking forward to seeing you guys over the course of the next week, and also for anyone who's coming to Limerick, really looking forward to seeing you on Saturday as well for our live podcast. I promise I won't start the podcast with a swear word then. I actually do promise that I won't do that. So thanks so much, everybody, for your support.
I don't think you. I think you might. I think you might go, oh fuck, it's Paul McGrath.
Maybe. No, I'd never swear in the presence of God. You know, if I want to get through those pearly gates, I have a lot of sucking up to do. So I might as well do it to his messenger on earth anyway, in the form of Paul McGrath. But yeah, thanks so much, everybody who's coming. It means, like, it's insane, and we'll tell a story about how the whole event got together, and even up to like 45 minutes ago about this event. We might tell a few stories about it over a pint on Saturday. But thank you so much to everybody who's coming. We're looking forward to seeing you all. So that is something to look forward to. And to switch your mind from this result tonight towards Saturday. And we'll see you all in Cask in Limerick for that fantastic event that we're really looking forward to put on. And there still are a couple of tickets. It's funny. There's a drip feed of tickets being released, I see, on the ticketing app and the ticketing website the whole time. So if somebody thinks that it's been if it was showing sold out for anybody yesterday, I just looked at it there. There's like another 4 tickets available there. So they're creating space every time it sells out in the venue. So fair play to them. If anybody still wants to get tickets for them, they are available on just go to yapcity.com. Type in our name for the Love of Paul McGrath, or just type in Paul McGrath's name, and it'll be the only one that pops up. You'll be able to see tickets available for it there as well. Right, we're going to leave it at that, everyone. Thanks a million. In the meantime, as always, should I say, stay safe, stay healthy, and all that's left to say is up the Villa.
Up the Villa.